Hey folks, Colin here from Something's Recording, and today I'm going to show you how to create a monster vocal to give your vocals a unique sense of power. We're going to be talking about monster vocals today, but before we dive in, if you're ready to go a little bit deeper into the vocal mixing process and perfect your EQ strategy, then I have just the thing for you. It is my ultimate guide to vocal EQ. It's a simple PDF that will walk you through EQing your vocal step by step to get you polished and professional vocal mixes without any of the guesswork. It is completely free and you can download it below using the link in the video description. Now let's jump in here and look at this monster vocal. We're actually going to be creating this monster vocal together here today, but I'm going to show you what the application is for this monster vocal. Now, if you're not familiar with what a monster vocal is, you're going to remember or realize what it is here in a second as we create it. Let me show you the area we're going to put it in. We're going to put it underneath this set of background vocals here. So let me play you this passage going into this post-chorus. So these background vocals are filling out this post-chorus section, and I wanted a little bit of extra girth or a little bit of extra weight under these background vocals to make them feel a little bit more full and a little bit more powerful in this section of the mix, because it's a sparse song and these background vocals carry a lot of weight in this section. So take a listen to where we're sitting at this point.
Drop on fear of a dangerous mouth, girl, I'll sing this loud for the whole wide world to hear. I love you, my dear. Though I may take an extra.
So those background vocals really carry that reintro section. They're a huge part, they're the essential player there, but they don't quite have the weight or the power that I want them to have. There's nothing wrong with those three parts that are there, but there's not really a low element that's carrying the weight or the low end there. When we have all of our pieces going in the chorus, we have our electric guitars and we have our acoustic guitar that really carry the song. But when we jump into this section, we lose our electric guitars, but I don't want to quite lose all of the energy till we get to the verse section. So what we're going to do here is we're going to pick one of our vocals to duplicate here. So let's go through here and see which one we can grab. I'm going to pick that one because that's our low one at this point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this track. We'll pull it down to the bottom here. And I'm just going to pull down this piece here. And we'll make sure we didn't cut anything off. Okay. To start, I'm just going to pitch this low one down an octave to see what we get here. All we're trying to do is add a little bit of power, a little bit of uniqueness to this vocal while giving them a little bit more weight so they carry this section a little bit easier. So let's see what this sounds like. I don't know how crazy I am about the swell up at the end, but we'll see here how it plays with the rest of our vocals. Let's pull it down and we'll mix it in with just this little small set here. I'll turn our loop on and we'll see if we can get it sitting at a level where it adds a little bit of weight, a little bit of power to our background vocals without being too obvious and sounding like there's a monster there, right? So I like everything except for that swell at the end. If that swell at the end wasn't there, we could get it a little bit louder. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut it in half here. We'll get rid of that guy. We'll pull it so it's the 4 bars. And I'm just going to duplicate this passage here and fade it together. That way we don't have that really, really huge swell at the end, because the swell sounds a little bit too monstrous. I like the low end. I like the weight we're getting from it. I don't like the weird monster growl swell at the end. So I'm going to change this to 16 so we have a little bit more freedom with this crossfade, and we're going to see if we can get this right. That's a little bit smoother now. We don't have that growl at the end. We don't have, it's kind of like a rev up with that big monster vocal. Let's try it one more time here with these background vocals and see if we can get it set a little bit higher, because that growl is not in there. You can hear without that monster vocal in there, without our really, really low vocal, there's a space missing. You don't notice it till you put in this really low octave, that there's that space down there that's not being inhabited by these vocals or really anything else in this mix, because it's such a sparse mix. It's just acoustic guitar, vocals at its base. So there's no low end down there, there's no kick drum, there's no bass guitar. So when we come into this section here, it's nice to have that little bit of extra low end coming from this monster vocal. Let's put it inside the track now. So with our acoustic guitar and our shaker that's in there, and see if maybe we push it a little bit higher, or if it's too much and we have to pull it back a little bit. I like it like right around there, -17, -16. It's just enough that you can kind of hear it, but pretty much only if you're listening for it. If you're listening for that monster vocal on the low end, you'll hear it and you'll feel a little bit of that growl, but you really notice the weight and the impact, the power we get from it when it's gone. When I mute it out, you can feel that space in the low end dissipate, and then there's nothing filling that space. It's kind of empty down there. But with it in there, it gives everything a little bit more weight. It actually blends really nicely with our stereo acoustic guitar track. It kind of fits right in that spot below the low end of the acoustic guitar, which is pretty nice. The other option we have here is we could ride it up for the ending. So let's see how that would sound if we give it a little bit of that swell, but it's not so much of the growl that we had before. So that would be what we do. We could write that in with automation if we wanted to. Just on that last bar, we could ride up with the rest of the vocals, or we could do it with all of them at the same time. We could pull all of them up in unison together to give that swell a little bit more impact. Quick review, all we're doing here to create this monster vocal is we're taking our lowest harmony here, our lowest background vocal, we're duplicating our track, and I duplicated these first 4 bars because there was that weird swell at the end that didn't quite sound right. and then we're pitching it down an octave. So it's really low. It's just a big kind of monster vocal is the only way to describe it. It's just a big growl, big low end sound that we can tuck underneath this stack of background vocals to give them a little bit more power and a little bit more low end weight to beef up this section of the song. I hope that was helpful for you. Like I said, if you're ready to take your vocal mixes to the next level and dial in your EQ strategy, then I have just the tool for you, and it is completely free. It is my ultimate guide to vocal EQ, and you can download it below using the link in the video description and start creating more professional mixes in less time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.